So in this video, I'm going to create the competition files for the next season for the Berwick Club. So the season starts in September. The current season finishes tonight, and I'm going to create the files and show you the kind of things you have to look at when you do this, because you'll have to do some of this work in late August so that you get the latest information. So I'm on the shared drive, and you can see we have a folder with the competition files for 25-26. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a new folder, and we'll call it 2026 to 27 competition files, and we'll just create that. And then we'll go into competition files for the current season. I'm just going to mark all of the ones that I'm going to need to recreate. So that's Berwick members, Betty Kelly, master points, the Lindsay handcapping, the Scott Cup and Tom Woodman bonus awards, the entry form, and those are really the only ones that we need. So I'm going to right click on those and say make a copy. So it's copying the files. And then when it does this, I'll have a number of files that are marked copy of. And if we move down, we'll see them gradually being created. So it's copied them, so now what I can do is select all of the copies, and if I go to organize, I can move them, and it'll move them into 26, 27. So let's move those. We'll worry about access later. So then I go up, and I'll go to 26, 27 competition files, and we have a number of these. We have two copies of the Tom Woodman entry form because one of them is linked to the Tom Woodman and bonus awards. So we'll have to sort that out as well. Anyhow, the most important form file is the file of Berwick members. So we'll rename this first of all, and we'll make it 26, 27, and we'll remove the copy of. What we're going to do in this file is just look at the tabs that we need to change. So rank September 25-26. So we maintain a list of what people's ranks were at the start of the season, because that's what we base their handicaps on. So first of all, I need to change this formula. If I can click on it, you'll see it. So we need to make it, the heading's got to be 26, and we're going to rename the tab it uses from 26, from 25 to 26. And that'll now fail because that tab doesn't exist yet. So we're going to go to SBU rankings for last season, and we'll change this to 26. And now we'll see it's come back. But of course, those were the rankings a year ago. So what we maintain in this spreadsheet is a list of the current rankings of everybody. So if you look at the rankings list, it's very simple. What I'm going to do is delete all of the entries in these 5 columns. So this is the start of season ranking. So you will have to do this again at the end of August to get everybody's correct ranking. But I'm going to delete that. And what you need to do is come to these columns and copy them. So we'll do a copy, and then we'll come back to this one, and we'll do a paste special, values only. We don't want formulas. and then we can delete code 2 because we don't need that information. And then I'll put today's date in here. Just to remind someone that they need to do this technically on the 31st of August to assure yourself that the handicaps are correctly set. So if we go back to Berwick members, we now have the rank, the Betty Kelly category. There are also assigned ranks we need to look at. All these people are still the same, that's fine. The Betty Kelly winners, I happen to know that Ian Guthrie won it in the current season. So we'll put Ian's name in there. It warns me I shouldn't edit this without knowing what I'm doing. And that's why I shouldn't edit it, because it's broken it. So we'll delete Ian and we'll go and find Ian's SBU number. So if we search for Guthrie, 14805. So now we'll go here, 14805. His name will pop up. And that means he's no longer eligible to win the Betty Kelly. And if we see, we find his, you'll see he's now marked as ineligible. So this spreadsheet marks when people's rank changes. The current rank is different from the rank at the start of the season. And what I do is, if I've noted it on the website, I just put noted alongside. So we can delete column I at this point because it's the start of the same season. So I'll just press the delete button and that gets rid of that. The members will change, of course. We might have some new members. Some members may resign from the club for various reasons. So we'll have to take them out of that. But that's something the person who owns this spreadsheet can do in conjunction with the treasurer. So we've got Betty Kelly winners, that's all fixed. SPU ranks, current ranks, that's today's ranks. And what this does is it generates automatically the files that need to be uploaded to Pianola for the handicaps for the new 26-27 season. And then it creates a display that can be put on the website to show everybody their handicaps, what rank they are, what grade they are, and they'll be able to see everything. So you'll be able to download this, put it on the website, or this particular page, and you'll generate automatically the two handicap files you need, one for match points, one for imps, and that needs to get downloaded into Pianola. But as I said, you need to wait until the 31st of August to do that, because we are rewarding master points right through the summer for all of our online bridge, and people's rank will change and that will change their handicaps. So that's the most important file. All the other files look at this one. So I'm going to leave it open here and then go back and see our other files. So Betty Kelly Trophy. So I right click, rename it, and it's going to be 26, 27. And then we can open this. Now I'm going to delete all of the current entries because we haven't had any events in the next season to generate. So I'll delete those. We have category 20. So what the category, we want this to be 26. And it looks up files in our links. So a warning again that we don't want to change this, but what we do need to change are the links. And what we want is not the file 2526 Berwick members, we want the new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm pressing the delete key, which will delete that spreadsheet. And then we're going to go back to the other sheet that's open, the current Berwick member, or the new Berwick members. I'm going to do Control C to copy that. And then go back into the Betty Kelly one and do Control V, and that's it. And you see I can replace it with a chip, which is what we had before. So that's now looking at the new Berwick members file. So when we get some input, I can't remember the format of the input. I shouldn't have deleted it, should I? But maybe the form name. So name, Paul Gibson 120. And we'll see if we can find out what's causing this problem. You need to connect the spreadsheets. So this is a permissions thing. So I'm going to say allow access. And now I'll find out that I'm a gold category person. So I won't be eligible for the Betty Kelly because it's for bronze players. So I'll just delete that. But that's all we need to do with the Betty Kelly. The display generates itself based on the input that's created here. So that's what people are used to. So we don't need the Betty Kelly anymore. That one's done. And we'll go back to the next file, the bonus master points calculations. This is a complicated thing, but hopefully people are getting on top of it. We'll rename it to be consistent with the new season, and we'll go into it. This does lots of things for all of our competitions, but the important thing is the links. And what we need here is, again, we need the new Berwick members. So here it says just press tab to replace it with a chip. So that helps things. I need to do the new Scott Cup and the new Tom Woodman. I'll leave that as an editor. I should also change the comments. So this is going to be 26 to 27. And the Scott Cup is going to be the 26 to the 27. And again, when you come to use this for the first time, it will require you to link, give permissions, give access between the two spreadsheets to allow things to work. So that should be all you need to do with the bonus master points calculations. Not a spreadsheet you want to deal with unless you know what you're doing. These other spreadsheets are all the same. So that's basically what you need to do. I'll leave these around for people to have a play with on the shared drive. And if you get any questions, just let me know. I hope that's useful.